Hey guys, it's Gigi. Come on into my kitchen. Let me tell you what we're going to be doing. I am going to be doing a little cooking and meal prep for my husband's lunch this week, okay? It just makes it easier for me in the mornings when I've done a lot of the prep work. So back here on my back burner, I have got a pot of water that I'm bringing to a boil. And in that water, once it comes to a boil, I am going to do a boil in the bag, brown rice. And then when it's cooked and it's tender, then I'm going to remove the rice from the water, let the water drain off of it, and then I'm going to put the rice back in the pan because I want to season the rice. Okay, I want to give it a little bit of a Mexican flair. I'm going to use some taco seasoning in it and so forth. So I'm going to season the rice because I'm going to be making my husband some protein bowls. I'm also going to be cooking some Springer Mountain Farms. And no, I'm not sponsored, but I should be. But I'm going to be using the Springer Mountain Farms chicken breast. So these are individually wrapped. Just bought these. They're fresh. I have some in the freezer, but I needed them right now because I want to go ahead and do this. So I'm going to open these individual packs. I'm going to get them in my pan, in some avocado oil and some butter, and I'll come back with you once I get that done, and we'll season them together. Okay, let's get a little avocado oil and get a little butter in our pan that we've been letting it heat. Let me grab my flippers, aka tongs. So we're going to go ahead and get our, we've just been getting some of that water off of our chicken and just patting it dry. Going to get that chicken into our pan. Let's get some seasoning on it. I'm going to do a little onion powder. Just going to season this chicken up really well. I'm going to do a little garlic. I think I'm going to use my Kinder's blend. Let me see. There you are. Salt, pepper, and garlic. And I think I'm going to add a little, since we're going to kind of do it around a little bit of a Mexican protein bowl, I'm going to add a little bit of taco seasoning to my chicken as well. I don't want to dump that. Let me just do a little, make sure I don't over season it. And then I'm going to hit it with a little Tony's Creole. And then when I get ready to flip this, I'll give it a season on the other side as well, okay? Okay, our water's coming to a boil, so I'm going to drop our brown rice into our water and let it start cooking. Okay, and on my little middle burner here, I'm just keeping warm. I'm going to do some red beans and rice since I'm going with the rice, but this is the Creole creamy style, red beans and rice, okay? So I'm also going to use that in my husband's protein bowl. And keep in mind, I keep saying my husband's protein bowl, but this is a good lunch, a good healthy lunch for any of us to put together a quick and easy meal that I'm going to make up enough for several days, but this will be a great lunch for us to enjoy too. Okay, we have flipped our chicken over, seasoned it on the other side, and we're just letting it cook until it reaches our desired temperature. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I have turned our rice off. I'm going to drain it off the water. We'll put it back into the pot and we'll come back and season it together. Okay, I've got our rice drained. It is light and fluffy. I'm going to start adding a little seasoning to it. Now, this is just going to change the color and give it just a little bit of that smoky paprika taste. Not putting a lot, but I'm going to put some of that and some Tony's Creole, because you know we're using the creamy Creole red beans. So we might be turning this more, instead of a Mexican flair, a Louisiana Cajun Creole flair. Because that's what you can do. You can change things midstream when you're cooking. You just get in there and you get to cooking. Then I'm going to do a little salt, pepper, and garlic. And really, we just gave our rice some good flavor. Now, what I'm going to do when that rice is still hot, give my chicken a flip again, and I'm going to check that internal temperature and see where we're at. We're getting there. Not quite where I want to see it yet. About in the 150, 155. I want to see it at about 165. So I'm going to let that keep cooking. And, oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to put a pat of butter. Let me grab I'm going to put a little pat of butter in our rice. And give that a stir. Okay, we're moving along. We are switching tongs. Now that we've got this at a healthy temperature, I'm going to do away with the ones that I've been flipping the raw chicken with, and we're going to use the clean one. All right, let's check the temperature of our chicken. See where we're at. Like to stick it into the fattest part of the chicken breast. 163, 164. So we're going to take this off, let it rest. Got about 168 on that piece. So all right, I think we are good to remove the chicken. Lay that over there so I can wash that prong. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these chicken breasts out, and I'm just going to let them rest on this plate that I have here because I'm going to be slicing them up. I have also diced up a tomato, onion, and some jalapeno. But all of these flavors that's in this pan, I don't want it to go to waste. So I'm going to give our rice a little bit of a stir fry and all those delicious juices. And let that rice soak up even more flavor. And turn that heat off, because all we want it to do, the rice is done. We just want it to soak up some of those flavors. And then what I will do, don't forget, we've got our little Creole red beans too. So red beans and rice. But what I will do is I have several of these little glass bowls, and I will layer this. Now I'm going to fix my husband a plate right now. He's out doing some yard work, but I'm going to fix him a plate to eat for his lunch when he comes inside. But I'm going to prepare some separate dishes for his lunch this week, and I'll show you exactly how I'm going to do that, okay? We'll come back and show you just how juicy and tender that chicken looks. Now, let's fix up one of his bowls for lunch, okay? I'm going to take some of the Creole red beans. That's going to go in the very bottom because I'm going to kind of layer this. And probably what he's going to do is I always put a fork in his fork and a spoon in his lunchbox, and he'll probably take and mix all this in together, but I'll also put him in one of these little containers. Now, I don't mind using these plastic ones when I'm doing sour cream and salsa because they come out of the refrigerator cold. So I'll put him a little sour cream and salsa in one of these little things. It'll also go with this lunch, okay? But I'm going to take and layer the bottom with the red beans. Okay. And on top of our red beans, I'm going to put a little mozzarella cheese. Okay. Then on top of that, I'm going to put some of our seasoned rice. Now I will probably get about I did 4 chicken breasts, got enough rice here for probably 4 bowls. Now he'll get something different because, you know, after you eat the same thing for a couple of days, I'll break it up because he's going to get one of those for lunch today. But I will, one day during the week, I'll probably do him a sandwich and some chips or something like that. But he loves these, to have these bowls. So I'll probably get about 4 to 5 servings out of this, okay? So far I've got the red beans, the mozzarella cheese, the rice, and then on top of that, I am going to layer the chicken. That's 1 chicken breast. Okay. And then on top of that, just trying to move this around so I can show you exactly what I'm doing. Let me see what I want to use. I'll use this spoon, okay? So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of the tomatoes, the onions, and the jalapenos, and I'm going to lay some of those right on the top. And like I said, I will also put sour cream and salsa in his lunchbox as well. Just a few little onions, tomato, and jalapenos on the top. And then he's got a delicious, healthy, packed full of protein, give him some energy. And then all I do is I pop that lid on this lock and seal, and it's ready to go. I will do the exact same thing in another bowl. Not going to probably change anything up. Sometimes I will just use black beans. If I had black olives, I'd probably put some of them in there too. But I'm going to layer the red beans, the mozzarella cheese. You can grate your own cheese. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And today I don't. So I'm going to put some cheese, some rice, and like I said, I will also put some tortilla chips. He can just kind of scoop that out if he wants to, but I'll do him some tortilla chips with the sour cream and the salsa. And then I'm just doing the same thing, guys. So I'm gonna cut up another chicken breast, do the exact same thing. Okay, so I guess that's it. I'm going to wrap this video up. Just wanted to show you how I was meal prepping this week. Just showing you that you can cook up a couple of chicken breasts. You can do this for your lunch, take it to work with you. You can do several of them and have you something to pull out if I decide that I want one of these for lunch and fix him something different. I'll just pull me one out of the refrigerator and we're good to go. Okay? So thank y'all for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I love you guys. Be the hands and feet of Jesus. Be his mouthpiece. Share his love and kindness with somebody today, and I'll see you back for the next video. Bye, guys.